entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey now, Disney fans and Star Wars nuts, Matt Heywood here from entertainmentbuddha.com to bring you a video review of Disney Infinity 3.0, which easily features the greatest Disney Infinity figures to date, and that's a fact, Jack. No, seriously, they're flipping amazing. I just want to apologize beforehand for the stupid logo in the top left corner of the video. The PS4 added those in like a dick, not me. I should mention that this review will only cover the two available Star Wars playsets, Twilight of the Republic and Rise Against the Empire. I may be a kid at heart, but at 35 years of age, I just can't bring myself to play the traditional Disney playsets, such as Inside Out. So I didn't experience a third of the game's core playsets, not that it matters, because Star Wars is the shit. Disney Infinity 3.0, in my opinion, is the ultimate Disney Infinity experience, thanks to the improvements to the game's UI and overall gameplay structure, as well as the fact that it features what many consider to be the greatest pop culture franchise of all time, Star Wars. I tried my best to hold out on the whole Disney Infinity movement, but after learning that the next installment would revolve around my favorite geeky franchise, I couldn't resist the power of the toy side and had to get on board. I was so influenced by the inclusion of Star Wars that I even picked up 2.0 and its Marvel playsets to prepare for the release of 3.0. And I'm glad I did, because it opened my eyes to the solid improvements incorporated into the latest entry in the franchise. These are mostly realized in the much improved UI, which actually now sports a better mini-map and a more traditional mission system to keep track of the various main and side quests given to you throughout both of the Star Wars playsets. I also found the overall gameplay to feel more solid than 2.0. The combat is noticeably improved and feels very smooth, especially with the Jedi characters and their bitchin' lightsaber attacks. Ninja Theory's involvement is clear in this aspect of the game, and it paid off, because slicing and blasting your way through both of the Star Wars playsets is more fun than shooting womp rats from a T-16 Skyhopper in Beggar's Canyon. The inclusion of much more robust flying mission is also a plus in Disney Infinity 3.0, especially because of how important spaceships and space battles are to the Star Wars saga. I absolutely had a blast with each and every flying/racing mission, and definitely felt a connection to similar segments from the films that these gameplay sections are based on. Even with the slightly clunky feeling flying/driving controls, these moments are definitely the highlights of both the Twilight of the Republic and the Rise of the Empire playsets. In terms of the story these two sets tell, while they are fairly close to what happens in the films, Disney and Lucasfilm did take many liberties with how they were told to accommodate for all the figures that can be used with the game. It wasn't as egregious in Twilight of the Republic, because let's face it, how could the prequel narratives get any worse? But the changes in Rise of the Empire are almost offensive to this lifelong Star Wars purist.
Completely destroyed.
For example, in Rise of the Empire, the band of Han, Chewie, Obi, Luke and Leia, 3PO and R2 already know each other before Vader attacks the Rebel blockade runner. The whole game also accompanies Luke to the second Death Star to help him beat Vader and Palpatine, so some of the narrative changes are a little too liberal in my opinion. Either way, I still thoroughly enjoyed my time with both campaigns, but as someone who has lived through a plethora of George Lucas special edition edits, I hate to see the original films altered more than they already are, even if it is just a damn video game. You don't want to give kids false impressions about this saga's narrative after all. I also have a problem with the figure release schedule for Disney Infinity 3.0. To me, it would have made much more sense to release Han, Chewie, and Vader day one versus the Star Wars Rebels cast, who don't even have a properly themed playset at this time. Considering that Rise of the Empire directly tells the tales of Han, Chewie, and Vader, it would have been neat to use those figures right away for Rise of the Empire, rather than waiting for 4 weeks, at which time you may not want even to return to Disney Infinity 3.0's campaigns, because they've already been completed. My final gripe about the game stems from the fact that it was developed for multiple platforms, which leads to the visuals not being perfect on the PS4. The game looks dated at times, even fuzzy during certain cinematics. which is a shame because the worlds and characters are awesome to look at. The art is fantastic and is one of the main reasons why I was drawn to 3.0 in the first place, so it'd be nice to experience it as a full-on current-gen console title. But alas, the little ones with their Wiis still need to play it, I guess. Disney Infinity 3.0 truly is a Star Wars fan's dream when it comes to the marriage of real-life collectibles and video games. The visual style is awesome, the soundtrack is even better thanks to Mr. Williams' score, and the gameplay is vastly improved. Outside of a few gripes about the narrative and figure release schedule, I really couldn't find much to pick on. It's a blast to play for all ages, and probably even better for those gamers with young kids. For all of its pros, Disney Infinity 3.0 gets a strong Entertainment Buddha 90 out of 100 rating. If you love Star Wars, you will also love this game, not to mention the fantastic looking collectible figures. Just make sure if you play with kids, they know the actual stories from the prequels and original films, because 3.0 definitely confuses major aspects from both trilogies. Thanks for watching. This is Matt Heywood signing off for EntertainmentBuddha.com, where we make you a better geek, one post at a time.